Hey, welcome back everybody to another tutorial here at bjblackburn.com. So today I want to show everybody one of my favorite tools and uses for Photoshop on a daily basis is to get images ready for web, whether it be social media or to my own website. I'm going to show you some quick hacks on how to do that efficiently and save you a ton of keystrokes. Okay, so the first thing we have here is I have 3 files open, and these are all icon type files. Okay, and what I want to do is have these ready to upload to a social media platform, and also have them ready to go for my website. Okay, so that's going to mean to me 2 different file types. I'm going to want a larger one and I'm going to want a smaller one. And the other thing I'm going to need is to add my metadata to the image. Okay, so that could include copyright data, that could be keywords, that could be the author info, all that good stuff, right? So there is a way to do that quickly, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, once you have your images open, we're going to go ahead and click Window at the top, and we're going to go down to Actions. All right, now what this is, if you're familiar with macros in Excel and have ever recorded any to save you some steps there, it's kind of similar, but a little bit better. This will record all the tasks that you carry out on Photoshop so you can later execute those without having to redo all the work. All right, so I want to record 2. The first one I want to record is going to add the file info, the metadata, to this image. And the second one is going to be to export it so it's ready for the web, but I'm going to have a small size and a large size depending on what the need is. Because you never want to upload an image, especially if you took an image from like your iPhone directly to your server, because that's going to be a huge file. You need to optimize that or you'll quickly run into problems. All right, so let's get started. First thing we want to do is the file data / metadata for the image. All right, so we're going to create a new action by going down here and clicking this box with the plus sign. And let's name it. I'll name it for this project. And we're going to say awareness metadata. And we're going to start the recording process now. Okay, so now it's that recording. We're going to go to File. We're going to go down to File Info. Okay, and most likely this is going to be blank when you pull it up. But this is where you put in all your information, the document title, the author, the description, and everything, right? It'll also have raw data and camera data too, depending on where you got the image. So what I want to do is I want to fill in the description keywords and copyright notice. Okay, so you can type all that in. Or you can import it. So to import it, you first have to have one of these templates filled out. So if it's your first time doing it, go ahead and fill it out. And before you do a recording of the action, fill out your metadata and hit export and save it. Okay, but in this case, I'm going to import it. And once you have some of these templates built, you don't really have to hit import. You can just go down here because your popular ones are going to be listed. So I'm going to add this top one to my site, and that's going to bring in all relevant keywords. And I also have a few saved right here that I'm going to snag and paste in here just to make it more relevant to this icon. Okay, so once those are good, we're going to hit OK, hit stop. Okay. Okay, and by default, once you have this recorded and stopped, it'll be in your default actions. You can also group these together and save them by clicking up here. Okay, but in this case, we're pretty good to go. We're happy with that. So we're going to create our next one. And our next one is going to be export. So we're going to go down and hit the plus icon again. And this one is going to be export icon 2x. So we know that that's for 2 different sizes. All right, now this one you want to pay attention because we're going to do some different things for the file naming. All right, so let's record again. Now we're going to go up to File, Export, and we're going to do Export As. So this is one of the great features I love about Photoshop. Okay, so you come up here and you're going to have, this is where you can make all your adjustments, right? So first thing we're going to look at is the size, 512 by 512. That's really big for a icon or a small image. So we want to reduce the file size. Okay, so we can go to scale right here. This is a quick way to do it. Hit 25%, and that's going to bring it down to 120. All right, so what you're going to see here is we just adjusted the file size. Okay, now I want the transparency on this icon, so I'm going to keep it as PNG. Okay, but this is where you would select if you want JPEG or the file size that you need. You can also tick this box for 8-bit PNG, which will make the file size a little bit smaller. Okay, and the other thing we want to do here is we want to add our metadata that we just added to the image, right? So hit that radio button for copyright and contact info. This color space, leave it as sRGB. That's good for the web. Now here's the cool part, right? We have our scale, right? So instead of having to save it twice, one as a large image, one as a small image, we can do that all in one step. Okay, so we're going to do our 1x, okay, and we're going to call this awareness, and then we can do our 2x, okay. I'm going to redo this. Okay, there we go. So I cleared that out because that will type in the whatever you type in there, that'll add it to the file extension name. So we're going to use the 1x to 2x. That's going to give us both sizes. We checked all our file settings here. It's good to go. And let's hit export. Navigate to a file folder that we want to save these in. Okay, and I have one created. Okay, we're going to select that folder. Okay, that's exported. Now, if we want, we could close it out and record that too, just to make our process a little bit quicker. So we can try that and see if it works. So we'll close that. Do we want to save changes to the original file? No, we do not. We want to keep that as is, so we hit no. Now we can go and hit stop. Okay. So now we have our 2 actions recorded. Now let's give it a test. Okay, so we have our other file activated here. Let's go and add our metadata. So we're going to highlight the action right here and hit play. Okay, now we're going to go down. We're going to do export icon 2x, and let's hit play. Okay, so you see that closed it out pretty quickly. And we're going to check in a second to see if that saved it as we want it. But we have our other image here, so let's go back up, add the metadata with just one click. And we'll go down to export that into small size and large size by hitting play. And that should close it out for us. Now we can navigate to our file folder. All right. Okay, we got them in there. And that's how you do it. So if you had 100 images to do, your life just got a lot easier. Now, there are other ways to do this on a big scale. So if you have Bridge, which is actually free for everybody by Adobe, that has some tools in it, as well as Lightroom to mass update images like this. But I found that this is a pretty quick way to do it, especially if you're making edits to the photos. You can do everything in one spot right in Photoshop. That's why I like it. Okay, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I hope this helped you guys.